Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making vegetable tamales and the ingredients are 3 cups of maseca, and this one is the one that I'm going to be using, maseca for tamales. And I'm using 1 can of corn, but I'm only using a half a can or a half a cup. 2 carrots, and I'm using the half of a jalapeno and 1 piece of bell pepper, and I'm using 1 zucchini, but I'm only going to use a half. And I have 1 cup of flor de loroco that I'm going to be putting in the tamales. And you find it in the store like this in the frozen area. And I'm going to be using 3/4 of a cup of manteca, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1 envelope of seasoning with saffron, 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and I'm going to be using 2 cups of chicken broth. And for the tamales, I'm using corn leaves, and these ones are the ones that I'm using. They come in a bag, and I already put them to soak in hot water, but you can always put them to soak the night before. So I'm going to start by cutting everything I need for the masa and shredding the zucchini and the potato and the carrots, okay? So now I'm going to start with the zucchini. Okay, finish with the zucchini. So now I'm going to put it to the side. And remember, it's only half of the small zucchini. And time for the carrots. And I'm going to put it to the side. But for the potato, I'm going to be removing the skin, okay? Right there. And the potato, I'm going to put it in cold water, okay? And I'm removing the seeds from the jalapeno. And if you don't want to use the jalapeno, you can always use only bell pepper, okay? But if you like the spicy food, you can always use jalapeno or serrano pepper. They're spicy. Now I'm gonna do the flor de loroco. And the flor de loroco give a good flavor to the tamal. Okay, it's done. And this one is the last one that I'm gonna do. Okay, it's done. So I'm gonna put it to the side. And if you don't want to use the whole cup, you can always use only half of the cup, okay? And now I'm going to do the yellow bell pepper. Okay, we're done with this, so we're gonna go to the next step, okay? Making the masa. And this is everything we're gonna be putting in the masa, okay? So I'm gonna start with the manteca first. Put everything in there. I finished mixing the manteca. So now I'm gonna put the maseca in here. And let's put the baking powder right here. And now we're gonna start mixing with our hands. So make sure that you have a clean hands, okay? Now we're gonna put the envelope with the saffron. And we're putting the chicken broth little by little, okay? And if you don't want to use the chicken broth, you can always use warm water, okay? A little more. And sometimes we only use 2 cups. Sometimes we use 2 cups and a half. It depends on the maseca, okay? So give a good mixing on your masa, and then we're gonna start putting all the vegetables in here, okay? At this time, you can taste it for salt. For me, it's good. And I already put the 2 cups of chicken broth, okay? And now that it's like this, I'm gonna be putting the vegetables in here, okay? So I start with the potato. There. And now we go with this. Okay, so now that we put everything in here, we're gonna keep on mixing in here. So we're gonna mix it real good, okay? I have another half a cup of chicken broth, okay? And And I'm gonna put it little by little. I might not use the whole thing. From the half a cup of chicken broth that I brought more, I have only left 1/4 of a cup, okay? So I didn't use the whole half. So now that we finished mixing the masa, I'm gonna cover the masa and I'm gonna start working with the filling we're gonna be putting inside this tamales, okay? And I'm using mushrooms and I'm using Oaxaca cheese, but you can use Chihuahua cheese. And I'm gonna be using 2 cups of spinach, okay? But if you don't like these vegetables, you can always only put the cheese, okay? And I have 2 cups of mushrooms over here, and I'm gonna cut them real small, okay? So I'm gonna start shredding the cheese, and then I'm gonna cut the mushrooms and the spinach. And you can buy the cheese like that, or you can buy it like this, shredded, ready to use. So I'm gonna start, okay? And this is 1.5 pounds of cheese, okay? But you can put all the stuffing that you want. Or you can even do them without the stuffing, only with the vegetables. They're still good. And do it slowly so you don't cut your fingers. Okay, so I'm done with the cheese. So I'm gonna put it in a container. And you can always put only cheese. You don't have to put vegetables inside if you don't want to. Okay, so I'm gonna put it to the side and I'm gonna start cutting the mushrooms. I'm cutting this. And I'm gonna cut them real small. But it's your choice and the size that you wanna cut them, okay? It's a good size. If it's left, we can always use it in quesadillas. Now I'm gonna cut half of the small onion. I'm putting onion today to the tamales, okay? And I'm cutting it real small. And over here, if you want to put, jalapeno or serrano pepper, if you want them spicy, you can always do that too. So now I'm gonna put the onion together with the cheese. And it's time for the spinach. And we're gonna cut them real small too. So I'm gonna put the spinach together with the cheese, okay? And I'm gonna keep on cutting more. And put them together with the cheese. And these ones are the last ones. And we're done with this. So we're gonna mix all the ingredients together for the stuffing of the tamal. So it looks like this right now. We only have the cheese, the spinach, and the onion, okay? So we're gonna mix everything in here. This is how it's looking. And now I'm gonna be putting the mushrooms, okay? You see how they look? And it doesn't matter if we got some left. You can always do quesadillas from this. And they come out real good. Okay, so we're done with this. We're gonna start making the tamales now, okay? Okay, it looks like this. And now if you wanna put salt or you wanna put 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon. I'm gonna be using 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, but you can use salt if you want to. And I'm gonna keep on mixing. And I'm only using 1 teaspoon, but use salt to your taste. I don't put a lot because the cheese has salt. Okay, so I mix it real good. So we're gonna start making the tamales now, okay? So I have all the corn leaves over here soaking in water. And we don't want them too wet, so this is what I do. And put them to the side. And you can always put the leaves to soak in water like a night before. But if you can't put them a night before, you can just use hot water like I did. So we're doing this to all the leaves, okay? So I'm gonna finish this and then we're gonna start making the tamales. So we have everything we need to make the tamales over here. We have the masa here, and we have the filling, and we have the leaves, okay? And we're gonna do the tamales like we normally do the other ones of meat. And you just look for the right side of the leaf. The rough part goes to the outside. And we're just gonna do what we normally do, you know, in the tamales. Put it all the way around the leaf. With this one, the only difference that it has is that we have vegetables in the masa, okay? So we're gonna do something like this, and now we're gonna be putting the filling, okay? And put as much as you want, okay? Right there. And we're gonna do this. And this is one of the tamales, okay? And you can always put 2 leaves if you want to. So we have a tamal right here, okay? And you can also make them any size you want, okay? So I'm gonna do another one. Looks like the leaves are beautiful. Here goes another one, and we fold it. There you go, and it looks like this. Looks like this. And you just make them, the same like when you make your tamales with meat. And we don't put masa all the way over here because this is where we're gonna be folding the tamal, okay? And these tamales are real good for the people that doesn't eat any meat. It's only made of vegetables. Right there. Sometimes it's hard to tell which one is the right side, but always run your finger like this. This side is real rough. This part is the one that is going to be going outside, okay? We're almost gonna finish. We're almost gonna finish making the tamales. These ones are real easy to make. It's not like the ones that we make from meat, that we have to be cooking the meat and everything. And here's another one. You can always put another leaf around it like this. And just fold it like this, okay? I'm gonna do another one, that way you can see. Like if it's like this and we want our tamal to be sure that the filling is not gonna come out, we can always put another one around. And go around like this and just fold it, and it's like this, okay? Okay, so we finished making the tamales. Now it's time to cook them, and this is what I have left from the stuffing. You can always put it in a quesadilla. And we end up using half of the corn leaves for the tamales. And I still have some left, so I'm gonna put them on top of the tamales when I start cooking them, okay? So I already have the pot where I'm gonna be cooking the tamales. And it's right here, and I already put the water. So I put the steam over here, and you have the water over here on the bottom. So now I'm gonna be putting them standing. You can put them the way you want to, standing or flat. So I'm gonna finish putting all my tamales here, okay? So they're ready to go on the stove, and I put them like this. Don't try to put them too tight because they still gonna grow when they start cooking, okay? And I put them like this, standing, but you can put them flat if you want to. Okay, so now I have the tamales over here on the stove. Before I put the corn lips on top, I was gonna tell you to leave a little space over here. That way all the steam can come out a little bit so the tamales can cook, okay? And now I'm gonna cover all the tamales with the lips, okay? Put the top on and put the fire on high, okay, for right now, and later on we're gonna lower the fire, okay? Once you hear the water that it start to boil, we're gonna lower the fire to low, okay? Okay, so after 1 hour, I already removed one, and I'm gonna check if it's already done. But we only make 9, so it doesn't take long, okay? So if you see like the lid is coming out of the tamal, it's because it's already done. So they're already done after 1 hour. I turned off the stove already, and they look like this. At first, when you bring the tamales out and they're real hot, they're kind of soft. But you just leave them to the side for a little bit until they start getting cold. And they're gonna be getting hard like this, okay? You can see they're hard right now. This one is already cold, so it's already hard. And we end up making like around 17 or 18 with 3 cups of maseca. And do you see the stuffing in there? I removed the extra leaf. So I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and thank you for watching all my videos. Like and subscribe.